welcome back. We're continuing our Python and Django tutorials, and we're going to look at some self-referencing models and start building out a little bit of structure within our roadmaps and our goals. First thing we want to do is, let's start with this. From our roadmaps, we want to be able to come in and within our time frames have some structure. So what I want to do is be able to look at like overall annual goals, and I want first quarter to actually have annual goals as a parent. The way we do that is within the model. So we can go back within here, and within time frame, we had roadmap as a parent, but now what we get to do is we're just going to call it parent. And this time we can just call it self. Let's see, and do it like that. And so we're going to have a parent. And it doesn't like that self. So let's see, we'll take a look at that real quick. Actually, skip it. I'm not going to dig into self. I'm going to just go to time frame. So now its parent is just going to be another time frame. It should clean that up, but okay, we'll let it clean it up in a minute. And so now that alone, if you remember, if we look at our forms, time frame, we're going to have to add parent now. And let's put parent first, just because. And we don't need to do anything special with it. So we can go over here. Let's see. I got to clean a few of these things up. Let's close a couple of these out. Let's take a look. I bet we're running. Time frame is not defined. Let's take a look at that again. May have to go back to that. I may not be able to do time frame. Oh, because it's not defined yet. So I do need to use self. And I think I can do it this way. Let's just check that real quick. Self is not defined. So let's take a look into that. Let's go back over here, and it's actually self. It's a string. And I do want to grab this, because I need it as a parent. I want it to be able to be null and blank. Oops, I did not get the E. So let's try that. Let's see what that does for me. Oh, I forgot a comma. So I'll go back here. Let's see if it picked it up. It did. So I need to, first thing I need to do is I'm going to go over here, and I need to do my make migrations. And let's look at my model real quick. So I'm going to do time frames, but I also want, tasks are tied to a time frame. So I'm good there. So I only need this one done. So I'm going to make migrations. Now I'm going to migrate. And did that. Oh, I need to run it. Get the server running again. And so now let's go back to my roadmaps. And now if I edit annual goals, it did not come through. I don't have my form coming through. Oh, I'm sorry, that's roadmap. If I go to first quarter, then I can set a parent. It could be itself, which is going to be useless, but now I'm going to make it overall annual goals. I'm going to save the record. Annual goals does not have one. And so now let's go back to within roadmaps. When I do edit a roadmap, let's adjust this so that it goes by parent first. So that you go under your parent. So if I go to my view, where's my view? There's my view. Let's see. Actually, first, my mistake. Let's go ahead, and what we want to do is here, when we do first quarter, we want to be able to, within this editing of tasks, I want to be able to go back to the quarter that we're working with. So we want to go back to this time frame. So that's easy enough to do. What we're going to do is, whoops, let's go back to where that was viewed. So this was in our time frame, and this is an edit listing there. So if we go to our time frame edit, we can see here that we're doing that go page. So now if we do go page and we add, let's see, we're just going to do time frame equals, this is going to be this guy, which is, oh wait, oh, that's form is table. We come into there. Is this the edit? Yeah, this time frame edit. And so we're going to have to do, what did we call him? Let's go take a look at him. I think we called him something. Let's see. So if we go to time frame edit, edit time frame. Let's come in here, time frame. And we've got a form, but let's just go ahead and do this to make it easy. TFID. And that is going to be equal to here, which is an ID. So we're just going to send TFID in. We got that. And so now we can go to our edit. And he's going to be TFID. Just keep it simple. So now what we're going to do is we're going to see that this is going to come across. Let's just reset this one. And so now when I do an edit, I can see that I added this time frame ID, but that's not, I'm not doing anything with it. So now when I go to my edit for a task, edit task is in here somewhere. There we go. So what I can do here is I can set, let's keep it pretty simple. I'm going to add a parameter, which is parent. We'll just keep it parent right now. I'm not going to call it an ID. Yeah, let's do it that way. Let's just keep it simple. Parent ID. We're going to call it PID. And now what we can do is we can do request dot get, and then we're going to do TF, which is what we called it. So actually, let's just print it for now, because there's actually two things we're going to do, because we're going to do PID here. So we did this big if here. Now we've got to do an else, because we have to handle the two. So here, print, he's going to print it as a get. He's going to print it as a post, although I don't think we'll ever actually post, but that's okay. Actually, we'll probably just carry it across, so we'll just keep it for now. So let's just do it through this. And so now we're going to do a print just to test it, save it, come in here, and actually we can run this. And if we go back and look, we're going to see in our output 2. There we go. So we printed out our 2. We can see here that's our get. So now with that, let's play with this a little bit. So here, else, and we're going to say parent ID, whoops, parent ID equals this. And we're going to do it as a string because I don't think we really care to. Well, we're going to send both. So let's do that. Because we're going to work with this a little bit, we do this. So parent, we're going to default it to nothing. But here, if we have that, then we're going to do the, because that's going to be parent. So parent ID equals, and we got to make it an int, request.get. And then we need to do a, then parent is going to be equal to time frame dot objects dot get primary key equals the PID. We're going to do the same thing here for post. Params, so we're going to add a parent. And that's going to be equal to parent, which may be a null. Oops, I don't need that. Which may be a null, or it may be a value. Not going to play with the post yet, because we may be able to deal with that later. But we'll leave it for now. So that gives us a parent. So that means now that we can address the parent within the timeframe editor. And we're going to create a button here that says create task, break, 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 break. So let's go here. We're going to do, so we're going to, if parent I need an end if. So if I have a parent, then I'm going to add another button. And this one's going to be return to. And we're going to do parent.name, since that's what we called it. Otherwise, he's going to go to time frame parent ID. So let's see how that works out. So now let's go to our row, actually go to a time frame, first quarter. If I edit this one, it should be, please update record. And he's not giving me that yet. So let's see, that's task time frame 2.0. Let's go take a look at that real quick. It's not 2.0, but 2.0. Let's see what it said. Let's make sure it's getting the right. Oh, it's not a time frame. My mistake. It's not the time frame. It is. Because I don't have a time frame too. It is the. Oh, it is time frame. Okay. So let's go back and look at this real quick. So we do edit task. Edit task. Parent equals that. That's parent. So let's just do this. Let's print that. And let's print parent. Whoops. And print the parent. So I went to task edit. Was I looking at task edit? Oops, I was in time frame edit instead of task edit. Okay, my mistake. Let's get rid of that. And I don't think I had parent anywhere else. Okay, so I should go, instead of time frame edit, let's go to task edit. And here, let's just do it above the form. So if parent, I'm going to put a little button here. And I don't need that. So now, I take a look, turn to first quarter. And now I go back and I can see that. So if I do that, let's go back to my roadmaps, annual goals. If I go to overall annual goals, then this one's returned to overall annual goals. So now what I want to do is do the same thing, and I'm going to do a parent for the time frame. So here, and this is going to get sort of complicated because what we're going to end up doing is we're going to have to sort of take that extra value across. So we're going to do within roadmap. So let's go back to roadmap. So when it does an edit here on the roadmap, I want to add a roadmap ID, which is going to be RM. So if I go to roadmap, edit, it's going to go to a time frame, and I'm going to give it roadmap equals, which is going to be this guy. So RMID, And I'm going to do it basically the same way here. So that means when I go to roadmap edit in my views, roadmap create, edit, and then here, I'm going to send my current RMID, and I could do this a little differently, but I'm just going to do it this way. It's a little easier that way. I'm going to come in and do that is equal to ID. That's right, because I already passed it in. So I'm just going to pass it through. And so now, when I do edit time frame, let's see, where, actually, let's take my, I'm going to steal my edit task stuff real quick. I'm going to take this. Well, let's not worry about the parent part. Let's just do this. If request get, let's do that. And now, oh, I'm going to get rid of my prints because I don't need those. Did I have a second print? I did have another print there. Let's go to edit time frame. And then here, bop, 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 bop. So here's my else. So if I'm a post, otherwise I'm going to do it, but now it's not TF, it's RM. Whoops. RM, and that's not a time frame, that's a roadmap. Parent ID, bam, bam, bam. I don't need to print that. I do need this to be parent. And I want to do a parent here equals to null. And I don't need that print, but I do need this to be a post. And now let's steal from my task edit where I did my parent. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put that on my time frame. And let's see, I don't have any real buttons up there. Do I? Nope, so I'm going to do it above my form again. Except for here, I'm going to go to, I think it's, did I call it roadmap? If I go to roadmap, it is, no, it's roadmap. Parent ID, parent name. Okay, so now, I go to my roadmap, annual goals. Let's see, edit roadmap. Oh, sorry. First, so annual goals will allow me to return to annual goals. First quarter allows me to return here. But now here, what I'm going to want to do on first quarter is I'm going to want that actually to return to a parent. So I'm going to play around with this next time around as I'm going to start working on tweaking our query. So we're only going to show parents, and then within the parents, they're going to show timeframes that are child timeframes. So when we go to an edit timeframe, we're going to see child timeframes. So we're going to see goals for the period and then child timeframes. So that'll take care of us for now. We have once again run out of time. As you can see, you can start cranking through stuff, but there's a lot of little details we're going to do. So next time around, we've set our task list for that time. So until then, have yourself a great day, a great week, and we will talk to you next time.